Hey everybody, this is the weekly forecast commencing on Monday, January the 13th, 2025. And this week starts off with a bang because on the 13th will be a full moon in Cancer, while opposite the sun's in Capricorn. But this full moon is going to trigger a lot of mood swings, a lot of emotional release. With the full moon in Cancer aligning with a frustrated retrograde Mars in Cancer, it can really stir up a lot of old resentments and tensions, especially in relationships. However, the moon is forming a trine to Neptune and a sextile to Uranus. These are the two most favorable outlets. And so all this incredible tension boiling, to the top, releasing all this repressed resentments, tensions, however this played out from the past. The trine to Neptune is releasing more compassion, more empathy. And the sextile to Uranus is bringing more innovation, more insights. So this incredible, intense, emotional full moon on the 13th that can be impacting a lot of you for the first several days of the week. It can actually be an emotional breakthrough, really resolving old past relationship issues. So in many ways, it may stir up tremendous feelings and emotions, but it's very positive for releasing and resolving and having emotional breakthroughs. So that's the good news, but it's going to be a roller coaster of emotions before the dust settles and you can really recognize the benefits. Now, before I go into the rest of the week, day by day, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. All right, so this Cancer full moon, it's on Monday, but you'll often be feeling it, some of you, for a couple of days. Now on Tuesday, when we wake up, the moon will have shifted from emotional, moody Cancer and move into extroverted, fiery, outgoing Leo. And Venus, pleasurable, relational Venus, will be in tension with expansive Jupiter. Now, Venus and Jupiter are the two great benefic energies. However, when they're in tension, there could be too much indulging, too much spending, too much eating, so that Jupiter can overinflate all these desires of Venus. And with the moon in Leo, you certainly have all this exuberance and dynamic energies. Some of you this could be ideal for attending a party, even though it's on a Tuesday in January. But it is the winter time in the northern latitude, and it might be, for some of you, fortunately for some of you, to be going on a vacation, to get out of the cold weather. And there's that indulgent Venus-Jupiter having the best time. But like I said, you got to be careful, because you could spend too much money, drink too much alcohol, but you would certainly be, with all that indulgence, having a really great time. On Wednesday, as the moon continues in outgoing dynamic Leo, now the sun will be exact opposition to the Mars. Now, that full moon on Monday was triggering and releasing that moon-Mars energies. But now the sun is exactly in opposition or confrontation to the retrograde Mars. So I would think for a lot of you, if you are in this letting go and resolving and releasing any past resentments, that in many ways the final push through or the final letting go or the final eruption that would have been starting on Monday could be breaking through on Wednesday. But that's all positive. But what's also going on with Mars opposite the Sun opposite Mars can be a lot of ego disputes, a lot of arguments, a lot of jumping to conclusions. But ultimately, because of this, all the positive outlets with the full moon, it can bring in these breakthrough energies. Now, on Thursday, the moon is void of course. Actually, it went void of course. Again, let me remind you, for those who are new, the moon void of course, the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. The void of course period means that the moon is no longer aspecting other planets until it changes signs, and then it starts aspecting other planets again. So when it's not making any aspects, there's no energy. It's a very flat, unproductive time. So this actually began Wednesday evening, 8:11 p.m. Pacific time, through Thursday, 8:47 a.m. Pacific time, at which point the Leo moon moves into sensible, practical Virgo. Now, on Thursday, after the moon goes into Virgo, it's starting to be more in harmony with the sun in Capricorn, because they're both earth signs. They're earthy, they're practical, they're sensible, lots of common sense. So after the moon goes into Virgo, 8:47 a.m. Pacific time, most of you will be feeling more grounded, and that could be part of finally resolving and feeling secure about the emotional release of the previous couple of days. On Friday, it's a very active day, but let's start with the sun in Capricorn is sextiling or in harmony with compassionate, empathetic, creative Neptune. This can be a day of inspiration, of a day of idealism, helping those less fortunate. But what's happening, so that's the whole day, which brings in some really positive energies. But the sensible, work-oriented Virgo moon will be in tension with Jupiter from around 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific time. That can also be emotionally the moon overdoing it with the Jupiter. But from around 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time, now the Virgo moon will be in harmony with discerning Mercury. This is much more favorable for meetings, for communications, for making decisions. And with the Sun Neptune, you might just be feeling really inspired. By early afternoon, after 1 to p.m. Pacific time, now the moon is in opposition to sociable Venus. So there's these strong desires for connection, for friendships, for romance, but you may be feeling like you're not on the same page, that you're having a bit of a struggle. And then after the moon moves past the Venus, it's then, excuse me, and then it's in opposition confrontation to restricted Saturn, more later in the afternoon. So early afternoon, you might be feeling you're a bit off in a friendship with your significant other. And then it only gets more feeling of separation and challenges when it's hitting the Saturn. Remember, this too shall pass. And with the Sun Neptune, it's also in the background really helping to give empathy and to resolve any hiccups in relationships. Now, on Saturday, the moon is continuing in analytical, work-oriented Virgo until 7:34 p.m. Pacific time, when the moon leaves practical Virgo and goes into cooperative, sociable, charming Libra, ideal for a Saturday night, and certainly going for the next couple of days. Now, around 6-7 a.m. Pacific time, the moon, sensible moon in Virgo, will be trining or in harmony with innovative Uranus. The moon also can represent our habits. And so the moon trining Uranus can be very favorable for getting out of a rut, getting out of old stuck routines, trying something new, bringing a lot more emotional excitement. By 10, 11 approximately a.m., now the moon is in harmony with Mars. So with all these getting out of the old routine and trying something new, you're being more stimulated to take more action. And this could also be with Mars, and it's a Saturday. Maybe hanging out with friends and playing sports or being more physically active. And then the moon in Virgo will be in the best harmony with the sun in Capricorn from 6-7 p.m. Pacific time. When the sun and the moon are in harmony, it feels like the overall energy is moving more effortlessly. Things fall into place better. Now, Venus during the day will be aligning with Saturn. That by itself can be these restrictedness and challenges with relationships or even money matters. However, you're having all these really positive lunar, that's the moon, triggers, and discerning Mercury is going to be sextiling or in harmony with Saturn. So the Venus-Saturn is more than likely bringing up for the day that you need to get more realistic, more practical about money matters or about your personal relationships. Now, with decision-making discerning Mercury, excellent with Saturn, then it also means that you're going to have more common sense. You're going to be more realistic about being able to really look at and take on these financial matters and these relationship matters. And then the moon went into Libra, 7:34 p.m. Pacific time, and the moon in Libra is about compromise. It's about cooperation. It's about sociable. So actually, the Saturday is very favorable overall socially. And it's a Saturday to go out, most of you, and enjoy friendships and dating and so forth and entertainment. But towards the end of the day, more at the end of the day, you're having Venus and Mercury both in triggering Saturn. So there could be a lot of feeling more grounded, more sensible with love, with money matters. On Sunday, a big day, well, the moon is in Libra, but the sun leaves Capricorn, organized, practical, Capricorn moves into quirky, innovative Aquarius around noon Pacific time. And the sun will remain in Aquarius for the next 4 weeks. So that's putting a real spotlight on all things Aquarius. Innovation, new insights. But Aquarius is about friendships, group activities, getting more involved with community, and discerning Mercury that was so favorable by the end of Saturday to pragmatic business Saturn. On Sunday, now the Mercury is in harmony with Venus, which makes for a very favorable day overall, socializing, especially with the moon in Libra, as Libra is ruled by Venus, the sociable cooperative planet, and Libra, the sociable cooperative sign. And now the sun is in Aquarius, stimulating a more desire to hang out with friends, to be more sociable. And later in the evening, around closer to 7 p.m. Pacific time, the moon in Libra will be in harmony with expansive, optimistic Jupiter in Gemini, because they're both air signs. So this whole weekend looks really favorable. So I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next week, be safe and well.